day and see how glamorous you can look. Call 561-409-4065 to book your appointment. Ivy Lee's Luxe Makeup and Beauty Lounge is located at 233 South Federal Highway on the first floor of the Boca Grand Building in Boca Raton. The number again is 561-409-4065.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
It's the Becky and Boca Show, coming to you live every Thursday night at 6 p.m. from glamorous downtown Boca Raton. I'll show you how to live life in style in one of the country's most elegant cities, nestled right along the beautiful Atlantic beaches between Palm Beach and Miami. So sit back, relax, and let me show you how to indulge yourself Boca style. Hello, welcome to the Becky and Boca Show. We're doing things a little bit differently tonight in the studio. When we break for commercial, you're still going to see me and my guest, but that's okay. Before we get started here, I want to tell you about an event I'm involved in next Thursday during the day for Cell Cosmet, which is a Swiss skincare company, and I'm going to be in Bloomingdale's, Boca Raton from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. with cameras and lighting, and I'm going to be doing some live streaming and some filming. So if anybody wants to come down there and get on air, we can do that. And we're going to have all sorts of fun things going on with Cell Cosmet. It's this wonderful new skincare company. They're in Bloomingdale's, Saks, all over South Florida now. So that's February 22nd, 10 to 1 at Bloomingdale's, downtown Boca Raton, Town Center Mall, Boca Raton. Okay, tonight I have two sets of guests. First, I have Lynn. She's with me right now. And she wrote a book, Lynn Radice, she wrote a book called Terror by Rail, The Untold Stories of Amtrak 188. So we're going to get to her in a minute. And then my second guests are Brian Kelly and Sean Koski. I've been wanting to interview them for quite a while. They have these magnificent parties here and in the Hamptons. And hopefully I'm going to get on their guest list. So we'll talk to them later on. But right now we're going to get to Lynn. And Lynn, you're going to tell us about the train crash that you were in. You were a victim in that train crash.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm a survivor of Amtrak 188.
And where was that?
And that was on the Frankfurt Curve in Philadelphia on May 12th, 2015.
Okay.
And pretty horrendous opportunity.
Oh, I remember seeing that all over the news.
Yes, it definitely was. Basically, it was dark inside, dark outside. It was a crazy experience.
Where were you headed on that train?
I was headed back to New York City, and it was evening. I was running for the train, and just made it as always. I just boarded the train.
Unfortunately, that circumstance.
That one. So I really remember the day and how crazy it was, and really getting there and just making it.
Okay.
And then I remember walking, and I remember specifically going almost to the quiet car and saying, no, I've got to make some calls. I'm an executive recruiter, so always going to make some calls.
Did you take this train every day?
No, this is just going back about every other week. I would go back to New York.
Okay.
So then I didn't go into the quiet car, and I sat in a regular seat.
And would it have been better or worse had you gone into the quiet car?
The quiet car really took a beating. Both cars took a beating, but in a quiet car would probably have been worse. Did get sliced through, but it's and the first car was the worst. So that one, that was horrible.
Which is the first one? The one you were in, or that's the other one?
No, I was in the car 3. I was in car 3. So there was one,
there were 3
2,
of them?
3, yeah, and then the engine ahead of that. But it's. So basically, I was, I was in the seat for not that long, and then I just remember hearing, a very, very fast piece, like a wind tunnel. Like I just felt like something was really, and everybody was looking around saying,
"What was that?
What's going on?" Well, we were picking up speed. I mean, like literally picking up speed.
Is this the one where the engineer fell asleep?
The engineer is coming back for trial. So basically, my understanding is right now he's been charged, with manslaughter.
Yeah.
We killed 8 people, right? So
8 people were killed in this crash?
8 people died, and 46 people critically injured. I mean, we had people lost limbs, we had people paraplegic, we had people a lot of serious injuries. 46. So out of the whole of the train, that's a large
How many passengers
number.
were on there?
238 people. 238
about the size
people.
of a jetliner.
It, and all 238 plus all their families, plus all their businesses, plus everything had changed that day.
Oh, sure.
I mean, that's what people don't understand. That's a memory forever for them, their families, their kids,
I remember this
everything.
from the news, watching the recovery and everything, and it looked horrific.
It absolutely was. When basically, I guess I don't remember much after that, but then, I woke up. And when I
now,
woke
there are no
up,
seatbelts in trains.
No,
so you just fly wherever.
No seatbelts, and
Should there
the luggage carts should have some kind of
Should
protection.
there be seatbelts?
Oh my goodness! You may want to say there should be seatbelts, but definitely the luggage needs to be protected. I mean, you stop suddenly for anything on the tracks. You would think, the luggage comes flying at you. I mean, it's just a kind of a ridiculous concept. There's many things, as I said, does anyone know how to get out of a train window? That's a crazy thing too. Does anyone know how to open a train door? No one knows that either. So, I mean, all these basics is why I, decided to write a book, because I came out like, oh my gosh. Like,
the book is Terror by Rail. And where can people get this book?
You can get that all over. We have it at Amazon, Barnes & Noble. I believe it's in Target. It's in Microsoft Store. So it's all over. And for a while there, it was the #1 new release. So people were interested. So it's exciting.
I can't wait to read it.
It's exciting.
But I want you to take us step by step. So you get on the train. And you're doing a little work?
Yeah, so just, doing a little work and starting to make some calls. And then basically, I just remember hearing this kind of huge wind tunnel and then basically, saying what, and then, blacking out. I mean, it was literally, that's it. And then when I woke up, and I get emotional sometimes, so... But when I woke up, I had my hands across my face like this and an X. And I had
where were you?
And I had on the floor. And I had luggage all over me, my whole body. And the first thing I thought of was, I have no teeth.
Oh.
I shaking. But literally, I spit into my thing. I thought I had been pummeled so hard. I had bruises all over my arms from the luggage. And literally, I was pummeled so hard and hit my head and everything against the wall going 110 miles an hour. Literally went bald. My whole back of my hair went bald.
You showed me the picture.
And, I basically my neck, my back broke, my shoulder, whatever. But, so much stuff. But compared to, a lot of other people, I mean, there are a lot of people, lives changed for forever. But, yeah, so I, luggage all over. And I woke up and then basically I had to start to move. And then, first thing is you ask, how do I get out of here? And
it was dark. It was nighttime. No
lighting. Nothing's lit up. There's nothing black and white. I mean, it's literally black inside, black outside.
Oh.
And the first thing is and
what about the other people?
And some people are like going slowly, and some people were really hurt. And so, some people were going slowly, like looking for a cell phone or something. My gut feeling was, get me out. Like, I was just like panicking. I'm like, I need out, because then people started to say, like, how do you get out of here? And like, you couldn't tell. And then, when one guy and I started.
And you felt you should leave, not wait for someone to come and...
No, you just felt, I mean, it smelled like electric. It smelled like sparking. It smelled, like you just thought it was going to blow. I mean, that was my, fight or flight. I really thought it was going to blow.
And didn't you say it crashed next to some tankers?
Yes, next to 5 tankers full of oil. And basically, there's pictures to document that. I mean, it literally landed, I showed you the pictures. They're very, very close to next to those tankers of oil. So there was definitely got to get out of here. But the chairs are now hanging on top of you. And
so you're upside down.
You're upside down.
The train is upside down.
Yep, and the chairs are hanging this way. And now you have to find which windows are the emergency ones. Not every one is.
Oh.
Okay, which is bizarre.
And it's pitch dark.
Right. And the doors shut upon impact. So the doors
they lock?
The doors aren't open.
Oh,
You're in a box. It's totally black. And there's nothing lit up. There's no glow in the dark.
Were
There's literally
people panicking?
I think some were just in a state of shock, because I just remember everybody just being like,
and were
slow
some
motion.
so injured around you that they couldn't even move?
Right. Some people were really hurt. And so I was, with my broken shoulder, I was hurt, but it's just like I was a rower all my life. And I'm like, I'm getting out of here, So I really wanted out. And so me and this guy started trying to figure out where so he was holding me up, and I had to climb the seat, and I had to hold on to him and the seat. And then I had to figure out how to open up a train window. Oh. Now, mind you, I don't know how to open a train window. No one does. So, what do? You're like, is there a lever? Is there a latch? Is there punch it? You pull it? Who
Do
the
they
hell
even
knows?
open? I wouldn't even.
And this is why I'm hanging with a
I
broken
wouldn't even know
shoulder.
if they open.
And this is why you're hanging with a broken shoulder, one-handed. It's ridiculous whole concept. So that needs to change. But so there's a piece of rubber around the window that needs to be pulled out, and then it does go out.
You're supposed to know that.
Anybody know that? No one knows that. It's a fun party conversation. No one knows that. Yeah. So that's how it pops out. And then literally I had to almost do a push-up and then a pull-up to get up out of the train. Now this is with a broken shoulder blade. Just the thing, you hear about people turning
desperate
cars.
to get out, right?
Yeah. It's just like, and then, when I was up on the top of the train, I was literally the first person up on top of the train. And I knew I needed to pull everyone else out. And so, there's people up on the hill and they're saying, the train's on fire. The train's on fire. So my heart is beating and I'm like in panic mode. And I'm like, and people are hurt and they don't want to move and they don't want to move their arms. And they're like, get out. The thing's going to go. You look over, there's 5 tankers full of oil. You have people on the hill shouting, the thing's on fire. I know I literally was treated for soot inhalation, have pictures of black things all over.
My gosh.
I thought it was going to go. And so it was just this moment where it's just absolute craziness. And then, so finally, I had to make a choice, they finally got the back windows open and, and so people started to go that way. And the gentleman that was helping me went that way as well. And then I had to make a choice, do I continue to help up here? Do I jump down?
Wow.
Do I leave people behind, as they say? I mean, it was a horrible decision to have to make. It really was. But like at some point, it's like, okay, either I'm jumping, I'm going in, I don't know. So when the train is that way, now it's flipped, so it's 2 times as high.
Upside down.
Right.
Okay.
So you now have to jump down, and you don't know whether you don't know whether you're going to land and break something else. You don't know whether the tracks are live. You don't know if something above you is going to electrocute you. Like literally, it is.
Where was the rescue?
It's not like the movies.
How
There's
long did
no
this
helicopters.
take?
There's no
Why
lights.
not?
There's, it was crazy.
Why
I think we were just in the middle of nowhere. And
What
I remember,
period of time are we talking about from the time the plane crashed till you were there?
The train, I don't know. I just think it seemed like forever. I mean, all I just remember is like slowly you would see bodies like walking, and you'd see some people that would literally collapse, and you see, people. I mean, I had a guy. He had 2 fingers. Oh God, I remember this. And he had 2 fingers, and they were like severed. And he was like trying to tie them with his tie. I'm shaking. He's trying to tie them with his tie. And it's just like, and I was afraid, like, if I pulled it too tight, it's just like, I mean, there were crazy things. I mean, people with their faces. I mean, one guy came up to me, he's like, how do I look? I'm like, you look great. I'm like, it was the worst experience of my life. And like, it's just, to me, it's a crazy experience, crazy moment. And people were so much worse than me. I mean, it's, to have to live through that, to know that if my kids were on the train or somebody else's kids, that you don't know how to get out of a train, that there's no help, that there's, in 50 years that nobody's come up with the fact, maybe you put some slats down the side of a train.
In case you got to get off.
If you're going to get out, maybe somebody tells somebody how to open a window, how to open a door. It's crazy. And the fact
They don't go through that like they do on an airplane before you take off.
Never. And
wow.
They don't even, they don't provide you with manuals, or they don't. Yeah, exactly. No one. It's a happy hour question. Do you know how to get out of a train? But yeah, I lived through hell and back, and basically went through rehab for 6 months, and pain meds and everything else. But
before we get to that, let's go back to the night, because I want to do this in chronological order. So you're there on top of the train. Mm-hmm. You decide to jump down. Mm-hmm. And what was that? Were you saying 20 feet, 30 feet?
Oh, it's high. I mean, you've seen a train when you get on, it's, certain height. I mean, when it's flipped, it's much higher. And I don't know. But
right,
I mean,
because
you just land.
Okay.
You just land, and you land hard.
Were there people around to catch you?
No. This was like real early on. Like, I mean, it was like real early on. And I just knew, like, as I said, with the smoke, with the fire, with the stuff that I'm hearing, like the sparking, and you're hearing it's on fire. And, I just felt it was going to blow. So it was just like, you just get where you're going.
So you just jump off of this thing?
Yeah.
Into the dark?
Yeah. And I remember I got down, and I remember looking up, and one guy on the other thing, he said, how'd you get down? I'm like, it's going to hurt.
Oh.
It's just like, it was just like, you just were surviving. I mean, if you choose to sit there and wait for help, I mean, you could get blown up.
Right.
I mean, those are your choices.
Yeah.
And this
and
was
did
literally
everybody
life
get
or
out, or
death.
some people couldn't climb up there? I would imagine pulling yourself up through a window. There might be a lot of people that couldn't do it, not only because of injuries, but just physically.
Yeah. No, it was tough. And then, as I said, that they had, guys helping, and so that kind of thing. And it was very much teamwork. And I would love to meet the guy who helped. I would love.
Oh, you haven't met these people?
No, I haven't met anybody in car 3. I would love to meet literally anybody who helped, anybody who was there. I would love to get all of Amtrak 188 together, like the survivors.
Should do
I
that.
think this would be huge. If I really could do that, I would love to do that. There's actually a restaurant high on Hudson, Eli Culp. He's the chef, and he is paralyzed. And
he was in that train?
Yes. And if I can do one thing, if we could have like a reunion in there, that would just be so awesome.
I think
so you can help me do that.
I think that
would be
sounds
awesome.
doable.
Anybody want to do that? I think it would be amazing.
I think it's great
to support him. But I mean, there's a lot of people that probably are a lot worse off, and that's why I want to be the big mouth. I want to be out there and being like, these things don't make sense. And it's a crazy, horrible thing to go
Hear
through.
a train going by right now. We're going to talk about that after the break. Is that the bright line?
I don't
Can you
know.
tell by
I can't tell. I can't tell what they look like.
That's scary a little bit when you hear.
Yes, I don't like trains so much. People ask me if I've gotten back on. No, I haven't gotten back
You
on
haven't
any
taken
trains
it-
yet.
No.
No, I haven't gotten
Okay.
back on a subway, a train, anything.
Really?
Yeah. On the way back after, back to New York, when I finally took a cab back to New York, literally every bump the cab would make, it was like I thought the thing was going to flow over. I would take
So
a
that's
bus,
how you got back? You got out of there in cab?
Yeah. And I would
But
take
didn't you have to go to the hospital?
Oh well, I'm saying long time,
later.
like
Okay,
2 months later when I finally
Okay.
went back to New York. But I'm saying I would strap myself into a bus. Like I thought the bus was going to turn over, and then when I got to the tunnel, oh my God, the tunnel.
It's dark.
It's dark, and you can't. I really was right back in the accident. I was just like I couldn't breathe. Like I'm like, where's the end of it? So it was just
Post-traumatic stress syndrome, right?
Yes, I still have that. I'm sure.
Wow.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely PTSD affects everyone.
So then what happened? You're on the ground now.
So I'm on the ground, and basically I'm just, looking around at people. I remember I called my one lady had a cell phone, and I looked at her, and she didn't look like me. like I'd just been through the war, and hurt and whatever. And she's just like standing there with her briefcase, and she looked great, and she had her cell phone.
Was she a
Like,
passenger?
I know. I was like, are you the media? Like, what is this? How can you be on my train? And the end cars didn't get damaged, right? So the end
Oh,
cars
okay.
didn't flip. They just kind of like crashed, but they didn't stop, So
Yeah.
you had people on, basically, that just look normal. And I'm like, wait a second.
Wow.
Yeah.
But they all had to climb out too the same way, right?
Well, I don't know. I didn't ask them, but a lot of them had, their briefcases and their cell phones and things. And I was like, where anything is, it's gone. It's out the
wow.
window. It's whatever. Yeah. So it was kind of interesting. But I did borrow her cell phone, and I remember calling my daughter, and it was horrible. She's just like, that's where I'll cry. But anyhow, yeah, that was horrible, calling my daughter and just be like, yeah, I was just in a train accident. She's like, where?
Wow.
She's like,
and it probably wasn't even on the news yet because there were no responders there yet.
yeah, at that point it was, and
Okay.
and I told her, I said I was on the news, and I didn't even believe that I was in. I didn't even believe I was in Pennsylvania. It was crazy.
Okay, we're going to take a break right now. When we come back, we're going to talk about our new Brightline train, and Lena's going to tell us about what they're doing to make that more safe. Okay? All right, we'll take a break. You're still going to see us, but you'll hear the commercials.
Dr. Candace Colella of Colella Cosmetic Dentistry in Coconut Creek provides family and cosmetic dentistry for patients of all ages and is the only dentist in South Florida offering Solea laser dentistry. No pain, no anesthesia, no shots. With over 23 years of experience, Dr. Colella does fast braces, dental implants, veneers, and more. She can even finish off your smile with Botox, fillers, and lip augmentation. Call 954-428-6923 or visit yoursensationalsmile.com.
You've been listening to and watching The Becky and Boca Show. Ivy Lee's Luxe Makeup and Beauty Lounge in downtown Boca Raton does fabulous professional makeup application. Make an appointment today and see how glamorous you can look. Call 561-409-4065 to book your appointment. Ivy Lee's Luxe Makeup and Beauty Lounge is located at 233 South Federal Highway, on the first floor of the Boca Grand building in Boca Raton. The number again is 561-409-4065. And now, back to the show.
Hello, welcome back to the Becky in Boca show. I'm with Lynn Radice, and she's telling us about the book she wrote, Terror by Rail, her experience as a passenger in train crash of Amtrak 188. And she had just gotten to the point where she's on the ground, out of the plane, out of the train. And what happened then, Lynn?
So basically people, so I borrowed the phone and I started to call my daughter and, told her I was on the train. And then I told her to look at the news and, I started to ask people how long we were and where were we. You just didn't even know.
You don't know where you are
You
along
had
the
no
route.
idea. Like I thought I was in, North Jersey or something. And then I found out I was in Philadelphia. I was like, what? Like, that's where I got on. Like, how is this Philadelphia?
Wow.
So it was kind of, I remember that moment totally. It was crazy. And then, we're walking around the rail and, I had one shoe on.
Wow.
Yeah. So my shoe got knocked off and like you're wondering what's going to you there,
right? What are you gonna step
nail
on?
or glass or whatever.
Right.
So you're just walking around, and then eventually, then you saw the sirens and you saw the people, and then I remember them not knowing how to get to us. Like I remember them saying, like, where are we going? How are we
What are
going?
the
Like, because
logistics
we're
of-
so
yeah.
far and back into the oil field.
So it was an area where they stored tankers
Yes.
that it crashed?
Yes. So if you look at the Frankfurt curve, there is documentation out there where you can see aerial views. And literally, it's tanker after tanker after tanker after tanker of oils and stored. And I have no idea why they're stored on a curve.
On a
It doesn't
curve
make
where-
any sense to me.
And the reason that the train went off the tracks was...
Well, they said it was situational awareness. That was, the most recent thing. I don't know because, I don't know. I know that I understand that the conductor/engineer did simulators for a living. I know that was in the press. I know that he did go 106 miles an hour, which was double the speed limit, which
So he knew he was going into that curve at double the speed limit, if he was paying attention.
I can't say that. I can't say
Okay.
that. They said it was situational awareness. I'm going with that, but I don't know what caused him to go double the speed on a curve. I don't know. I can't.
So they actually control the speed? I would think that that's computerized by
Automatically.
this point, that you can't go that fast on a curve.
Yeah. So I guess that's why they're trying to put in, I know a lot of other countries have, braking systems, right? And they have, stop gaps.
Yeah, I would think that
every country has stop
The
gaps.
train would detect that you're going too fast going into a curve.
I would think, right? So I think that's all the braking systems that should
So
have been
was
mandated.
he charged?
Should have been mandated, and they're starting to put them in now. He at that point, no. Basically, he got off or whatever. But now he has, the DA has brought back up manslaughter charges, and that was a recent, and I believe February 21st.
This is 3 years ago, right?
Yeah. Made in 2015. So I believe, that's all going to be, as I said, I can't really comment on what I think with him, but
Yeah, ours is a litigious society.
Yes, exactly. I'm not going there. It's all what he chose to do. I have
I
no
know all
idea.
about lawyers.
Whatever happened. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but yeah, the facts are he went twice the speed, and basically a brake was pulled, and the fact is that we landed 50.
He tried to brake once he realized he was in the curve?
I don't know. I just know that it says that the brakes were hit. And that we ended up landing, 50 feet from 5 tankers of oil. So that's, my situation is that piece alone is embedded in my memory. Like getting out of a train and having 5 tankers of oil next to you is a freak show.
Oh, and there was flames and soot.
Yeah, I mean, you knew that, there could have been live wires. I mean, there was definitely soot. I mean, they definitely, if you look at the train accident pictures, there was fire. When
I saw that.
the combustion.
Right.
When the train crashed. I mean, you could see around some of the places there was definitely. I mean, upon impact, there's always fire. So, it was interesting.
So I imagine
adventure.
there were a lot of lawsuits after this. Maybe you can't comment on that.
I don't know. I don't know. But it's a very
Probably
interesting
some
adventure.
still going on.
It's an adventure out there. But so I'm thrilled. I am thrilled if I can give an opinion. But I am thrilled that some charges are
one
brought
of the
up.
reasons I wanted to bring you on is because it's very timely, because we have the new Brightline train running all the way through South Florida down to Miami, I believe.
Yep.
And the tracks are literally across the street from us where we are at the studio. That's why we can feel the trains rumbling. But now Freddie's in here with us, and he told us that was a northbound train, freight train. You can tell by the weight.
He knows what's going on out there. I didn't.
No, the tracks run all through South Florida. I can feel them at my house. And when the trains are loaded up, coming up from the ports, they're very heavy. Mm-hmm. When they're going south, they're a little lighter. But this is an all-new train, a commuter train using those very same tracks that the freight trains use. And it goes a lot faster than the freight trains, right? Mm-hmm. It goes 75 miles an hour?
My understanding, just because I was very fortunate, I went to a Rotary meeting, which I was invited to, and love those people. Hello. And basically, they had a meeting with Brightline. And so...
Because there were 2 deaths immediately after they put those... Yes. Trains in Delray Beach, right? Pedestrian, a bicyclist and a pedestrian, I believe.
Yes, but that wasn't on the train, right? So that wasn't a passenger, right? They were outside
by
the train.
Yeah, right. Well, I'm concerned about that too.
I know. That's never a good day. But other than putting, I guess, gates all the way up and down the rail. I mean, if people want to be on there, they're going to be on there.
Well, let me ask you a question. Mm-hmm. Do the those rails are set for the lower speed trains, the freight trains that we just heard? And do you know how fast those trains go? I don't know either, but not as fast. Freddie,
I don't know.
Okay. 45? Okay, so we're talking about 75-mile-an-hour trains, but are those gates timed to come down for the 45-mile-an-hour train? So would you have less time if it's a 75-mile-an-hour train?
I would think they'd have that. That's not me, but I think that's an engineer. That's an engineer thing. I'm thinking.
You know how many crossings there are in South Florida? What would that cost?
I tested them for 6 months.
They tested them, and they say you have enough time to get them timed for the fast trains.
I think that's an engineer thing. Yeah, I think they'd have to do that. I know even in the Northeast Extension, we have the Excella, which goes faster. So I guess they figured all that out. And you're right. You have freight trains, and you have speeding trains, and you have all CSX.
But the speeding train, they're going right through. You know where these train tracks are, all the way down to Miami, right through areas with lots of people and lots of cars. And I just want everyone to be safe because it's different than there have been fatalities just since they put this line in a couple weeks ago. And it's dangerous. It's always been dangerous with the freight trains. Now we have a train going almost twice as fast.
Go fast.
So, but you told me you were confident that there are safety measures in place when we were in the green room. I know you don't work for that.
I'm not thinking about the people going across.
Yeah, well,
that's a different thing.
Oh, that's different. Okay.
I don't know. If somebody really wants to do that, I don't know.
But I think it's accidental sometimes. And
right. And
because the train is so fast.
They try to beat the train. Right. Cars try to beat the train, or people try to beat the train.
What's happened around here frequently, not frequently, but over the years, people would be going north on Dixie Highway and they make a left-hand turn onto the tracks, not realizing that
ouch, that's a real
that would be bad, Freddie.
Don't do that one.
Not realizing that there's a train coming. Now we have trains going twice as fast.
Wow.
It's just not a good idea to put high-speed trains where there are a lot of people on the ground.
That's not... Well, maybe this should be your new advocacy. I don't know. I didn't know you're going to be the new advocate.
I got enough on my plate. Okay, but you're saying these trains are safe to ride at.
My understanding, as I said, and I haven't been on one because I don't know if I'm going to go on. I don't know where I'm going to go on one.
Do you know? Does it go all the way to Orlando?
It's going to be Orlando to Miami. That's my
Orlando
understanding.
To Miami. Yeah. And you can get on and off anywhere along the way? Or does it just stop?
Boca's not going to have a stop. And then I think Fort Lauderdale does. And, there's a couple others. But, I think they're doing it shortly, in short gaps. But the neat thing is that it's privately held, so that's awesome, I believe, and that they're really going to control it, and they've instituted more safety things. So my understanding is there's a conductor in each car. Yay, that's a win. Okay. That would have helped somebody.
What can the conductor do in this situation?
They can open a door, they can open a window, they can direct people, they can tell you how to get out or whatever, or break the thing if
assuming they survive the crash.
Assuming we have a survivor.
And what about seatbelts?
I don't know that they have seatbelts. I did not ask that question.
75 miles an hour is pretty fast for a train.
It is.
Do you know how fast the train you were on was going?
Mine was 106 on a curve, but I don't know.
But that was double the speed.
Correct, on the curve. But I don't know the traditional speed that they go. But I know Excella goes up to 160 or so.
And why are there seatbelts on trains, or they just don't exist?
I've never seen them. I don't know. I'm not. I don't know that. But and that could be good or bad because if you're stuck in that seatbelt and you can't and you flip over, I don't know how that's a different. I'm not sure. So I guess they have to think of all of this. But they have they have new conductors. They have I guess they have a whole brochure they've put together for safety that like in an airplane that you can go and look through that. They have I think, more luxurious seats, so it looks like it's going to be comfortable.
Yeah.
They have little...
I think it would be a fun way to get around Florida.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And they have little sockets for, electric power and all that, which is nice, not have to look for it and whatever. So it looks very classic, and it looks beautiful, and it looks like something people will absolutely do, and I wish them well. I mean, I do think you're always going to have a couple of accidents here and there, but if someone has intentionally gone after and improved safety, the first one who's done it is a privately held company.
Right.
That's huge. So, that's, maybe we should take some of that and put it on, other places. So
Sure.
That's good. It's fun though.
Okay, so tell me about the book. You decided to write this after your experience.
I did. First of all, I wanted to do it because of safety on the rails. I really thought, that's a passion, and I want to make sure everybody knows how to open a window and a door.
So how do we open a window?
So,
pull out the rubber is what you told me?
Yes.
How do you find the rubber?
Piece of rubber. Well, this is only on Amtrak. I don't know CSX. I don't know, New Jersey Transit. I don't know. I mean, they could all be independent. But I'm saying, you need to look. I don't care whether you're riding a bus, a subway, a train, whatever you're riding.
How am I going to get out of here?
How do you get out? And you know what? It used to be, don't worry about it. No, worry about it. Because we've had, and people don't realize
a lot of train crashes.
We had derailment of sulfur in Florida, in Polk County. We then had a derailment of oil in North Jersey. Then we had the freeway, which was train on top of the freeway in Washington State. Then we had the D.C. People that, basically there was a car on the track and derailed the thing. And then,
that can derail a train too? See, that's the problem in South Florida.
She's worried about it. She's a new advocate. Local. And then we had one going in New York that basically fell apart. So we've had, all of these.
Wasn't there one in Orlando here not too long ago, or somewhere in Florida?
The sulfur one?
Is that here?
Sulfur was Polk County. But I'm keeping track of them. I'm making people aware of it because everybody remembers the one on the freeway, and I'm like, it's been so many more than that. And
so what happened on the freeway?
The one that happened on the freeway was Washington, and that was a passenger car that went too fast once again and flew over onto a railway, onto the freeway. I mean, if that had body count, we would be acting. If my train had 100,000 people that died because we hit the oil tankers, we would be acting. This is what I don't understand. Is if those 5 train accidents I mentioned to you had 100 each,
right,
people would be acting. And to me, because it's 8 here, it's 3 there, there's not one body that is enough to change the rails. And I just, to me, I don't understand why it's not happening.
So what changes would you advocate?
Everything. Basically, we can get on a train without ID. Which is bizarre, right? You can still go buy a train. You buy a ticket, you get on.
You can't get on an airplane without ID.
Right. I would definitely.
They don't search your bags and all that?
Yeah, it's not, you don't have, the dogs, you don't search your bags, all of that. I would like to look at the resumes of the people we're hiring and have
running
access.
the train.
Running the train, have access to the rail all over. That's CSX, that's Conrail, that's New Jersey Transit, whatever. I want to know what the backgrounds of everyone is that's working or has access. I'm a recruiter. I, for fun, went on LinkedIn and Googled some of the people we're hiring all over and see if the backgrounds make sense. I wouldn't hire them here. And to me, that's what I do for a living. You have somebody who's 6 years unemployed, 6 months here, and we hire them. Why does that even make sense? And if
they have people's lives in their hands.
Right. And that's,
that make sense.
It doesn't make sense. And I would encourage everyone to do a LinkedIn search on, who's out there and who's hiring and why are we doing this? We've done it before where we were very lackadaisical about who we were hiring and where they were going to school and what they were doing. And, and we paid the price. And so to me, as a recruiter, I like to know people's backgrounds. And, it's experience. If
and
they
the
don't have the
background
experience.
of the conductor on your train that wasn't doing his job, do you know what that was?
I do know what it is.
I thought you might.
I do know what it is. I only know, the LinkedIn version of it. So I can't say whether that's good or bad. So I've never seen a resume. I've never done a background check. I would love to do a background check, but I can't. But the only thing I see is from there. But I mean, as a conductor, you have so many years of experience, and then as a locomotive engineer, you should have so many years of experience, and then you should do so much, training, and then it should be required. I mean, all of these pieces, And I don't know necessarily where they're every piece. And that's who are we hiring for the braking systems? Who are we hiring for the signaling systems? Who are we hiring for the IT? Who are we hiring to have access to do our rail safety? Who are we hiring to have access to anything on our rails? And to me, it's a huge picture. So, it's not only safety of the rails, it's who we have access, who are we hiring, the bigger picture, and the transit, that we have all of our chemicals going through. There's been articles and articles about, our transit of freight and how we, get that where it's going safely. And
that's a biggie. Yeah.
It's huge.
See all these tanker cars going up and down the coast here.
Right. So, what is the speed safety? What is the container safety? Who's managing it? Who's in charge of it? To me, I think it makes sense to have an oil and then like plastic, then grain, and whatever, and then another oil back there. To me, that's how I would do things, right?
Right. Okay.
Just be creative. It doesn't make sense to me why we do it the way we do. Yeah, there's many different things that can be changed. I would love anybody to put me in touch with somebody. I would love to sit there and literally talk to Homeland Security. I'd love to talk to the president. I'd love to talk to anybody who can put me in touch with someone in the railroads, someone in the press.
Even something like illumination in the event of a crash. They had none of that.
Little glow in the dark tape.
Yes, something.
Some kind of lighting. Right, exactly. Yeah. All the windows glow, right? We have glow in the dark everything now. We can make anything glow. For parties, they make everything glow.
Yeah.
Why don't they have it in trains? It doesn't make sense. And just, a little ladder and, as you said, maybe a hammer, that has access, and maybe, and as I said, everyone needs to open a train door. I didn't know that the doors would shut.
So you couldn't get those doors open at all?
No one. They were like, how do you get out? People were freaking out. We couldn't get out of the door. That would be illogical. Just walk out the door.
Right.
That's an easy one. Here's the door. We all go out, single file.
Hey, you'd think after the crash they would open the doors somehow?
Well, I'm sure, once the fire and departments and everybody came with their ladders and they're getting the people out and they're pulling them out and they're pulling them under and pulling, through windows. There's horrible video of, them pulling them all different ways out of lots of things. And, and then, God forbid the people that couldn't get out. So, it's a traumatic experience, but I truly believe I'm the mouthpiece right now because it needs to change. And, all these things are happening. And as I said, if it was, 30,000, 100,000, whatever people,
it'd be a different story.
We shored up the airlines in weeks. Right? Weeks. We put every door was locked. Every security system was different. We put tons of money into the airlines. So I know it can be done.
Right.
If all of a sudden this was, 100,000 dead people, boom, we would be done. And we would change the rail today. And that's what I don't understand. If we look at all the rail accidents, and there's lists out there, you can literally...
There's been a lot recently. I know you've been messaging me every time one happens.
Becky! There's another one!
I was like, I got to bring this woman on.
This crazy rail lady. Crazy rail lady. But I also am an executive recruiter, so I don't want to be known as just the terror, just the rail lady. There's much more to me, but thank you so much for bringing me on. I really, really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Tell us a little bit about your executive recruiting business.
So I do global executive recruiting. I place people all around the world. I have done everything from directors and VPs and above, ridden a lot of different waves. I've done technology, I've done pharmaceutical, and mostly retail right now. Willing to help anyone. I do have a consulting practice as well as far as job search strategy. Right now, technology is really screening people out, believe it or not. You can apply online as many times as you want. Technology is taking you right out.
So tell me about all these young people graduating from college. Are they getting jobs?
It's a tough field. If 100,000 people apply to one job, and I want a 4.0 GPA, and I want Harvard grad, and that's who I get with technology. So it's a difference.
Okay, well, thank you, Lynn Radice, Terror by Rail. Thank you. You were a very interesting guest. I really enjoyed it. And I'm going to have to switch you out now for my second guest, and everybody out there is going to see the switch because we're not going to commercial.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lynn.
Dr. Candace Colella of Colella Cosmetic Dentistry in Coconut Creek provides family and cosmetic dentistry for patients of all ages and is the only dentist in South Florida offering Solea laser dentistry. No pain, no anesthesia, no shots. With over 23 years of experience, Dr. Colella does fast braces, dental implants, veneers, and more. She can even finish off your smile with Botox, fillers, and lip augmentation. Call 954-428-6923 or visit yoursensationalsmile.com.
You've been listening to and watching The Becky and Boca Show. Ivy Lee's Luxe Makeup and Beauty Lounge in downtown Boca Raton does fabulous professional makeup application. Make an appointment today and see how glamorous you can look. Call 561-409-4065 to book your appointment. Ivy Lee's Luxe Makeup and Beauty Lounge is located at 233 South Federal Highway on the first floor of the Boca Grand Building in Boca Raton. The number again is 561-409-4065. And now, back to the show.
Back to the show, but we're still here. Hi, Becky and Boca here. Okay, I've switched out guests. Lynn just left, and now I have Sean and Brian from Ticket to Events, which is a party planning company, right?
That's right.
I love parties, so I wanted to talk to you guys.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Now, I've heard you've done some amazing parties, not only here, but in the Hamptons.
That's correct. We work actually nationally, so wherever our clients live, we get to go and follow them and plan parties there.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah.
What is your most extravagant party you've done?
I think that I think we both have different opinions, but
Yeah.
for me, I always think when we do events at Mar-a-Lago, that those are the most
the Trump
extravagant.
Mansion. Yeah.
I don't mean to mention any political sense, but
Right. Oh, no, I've been to a lot of parties there over the years.
Regardless,
It's just
the
beautiful.
The venue is just beautiful.
I know.
And then
That
you don't have to do
ballroom.
too much.
exactly.
Gorgeous.
It's even the bathrooms, everything's
they
just
are
with gold.
gilded, and you're like
so you don't have to do
royalty.
anything. I feel just really extravagant there.
I guess
And
that helps you not having to decorate out too much.
well, actually, it makes it harder because we have to do more programming.
Oh,
so
okay.
I think maybe that's why I like it, because when it comes to the two of us, I'm more logistics, timelines, and yelling at people and making them show up on time. And Brian is more creative, so I'm sure he
Okay.
has
More
a
of the
different
design and
idea.
curating,
Yeah.
like certain things. I think one of our other favorite events is our Hamptons event. With,
Yeah, tell
one
me
of
about the
our
Hamptons
housewives.
event. Can you
Yeah.
invite me next time?
Yeah,
I'll come.
for
I'll bring
sure.
my. I'll come and film. I'll bring a camera person, and we'll live
Definitely.
stream your party. We'll get it all over the place.
Yeah, we're lucky. We get to go to the Hamptons in the summer.
So you work at the Hamptons in the summer, and you work here in the winter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good.
We're
Nice
kinda
gig,
We're
guys.
kind of like snowbirds.
How'd you do that?
I have no idea.
It just happened. And
Well, I
Do you
grew up
live
in
in
New
the
York.
Hamptons then in the
Yeah, we
summer?
live in
Yeah.
Montauk. So it's
Oh,
like
Montauk.
that.
I've
Yeah.
been there, all the way out at the end.
Exactly.
Beautiful. Wow.
It's great because we get to live out there and work in Southampton and East Hampton.
Mm-hmm.
So we get to escape and not really see the people that we're working for
Yeah.
in the town.
Okay. Why? You don't want them to see you out?
Yeah,
you guys up
We
to?
need a little separation.
we've been.
I understand that
You know?
completely.
You don't want to mix too much personal.
I like to go
and,
incognito myself.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so you live in Montauk, and then you do most of the parties in Southampton?
I'd say so.
East Hampton? Okay.
I'd say Southampton is more residential,
Mm-hmm.
and we.
So you're doing them in these mansions there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, how fun.
It's really fun. And some things are as small as brunches, where just a group of 12 girls want to have a brunch, and other
Or a
things
private
are
shopping party.
Yeah,
Oh,
And we
private
always
that sounds
make
fun,
sure, you know,
too.
we're tying a charity to it because it's a nice component. Everyone likes to give back, and then or to like a huge extravagant event where it's, you know, we're managing 150 pop-ups and brands and activations and bringing in, you know,
Oh,
celebrities,
wow.
press,
sponsors.
and stuff like that.
I know, I do a few events myself. That's a lot of work.
Right, yeah, I know
Yeah.
you do a lot of events too, so you totally
You
understand.
guys got to collaborate with me sometime.
Yeah,
for
for sure.
sure. That
Well,
would
we
be
have a
nice.
space now in downtown Delray, and
Oh, what is-
it's called The Circle. It's a
So I
pop-up
saw
shop.
that on your Facebook. Okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we kind of like
Where exactly is that?
It's downtown. It's on 6th Ave, right across.
I know 6th Ave.
If you know where Mellow Mushroom is.
Yes, as a matter of fact, my friend Adam
Federal.
Schumann has a salon there.
Yes,
Is it
he
right
just
by the-
opened.
Yeah,
We're just south of him.
Yeah,
south
he's
of
got the
Ace
new
Hardware.
naked hair body soul salon.
Well, he has
Yeah.
the best
so you're
salon
right there. So he's great.
well,
Yeah.
it's great because it's like a fishbowl, so you can always see people
Yeah.
getting the hair done.
He cuts my hair.
Oh, good.
He's
That's
fantastic.
good,
Yeah.
yeah.
We've worked with him on fashion shows before. He does crazy hair. It's
Oh, he's
really
great.
avant-garde and
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. He's very
Showstoppers.
creative. Yeah. So So I know where that is. So where are you guys located?
We're in a yellow cottage just south of there.
On the same side of the street?
On the same side of the street.
Yeah.
I know where the Ace Hardware is, which sounds
literally
you tell
so
people
in
there's an Ace
between
Hardware
that.
there, and they're going, no, there's not.
Yep.
That's why when we say, oh, it's next to the Ace Hardware, they're like, where? So we say across from
We
Mellow
say
Mushroom.
Mellow Mushroom.
It's the closest
Everybody I've
thing
told
to
says
do
there's
it.
no Ace Hardware there because it's
I
all
know.
people that don't know the area. It's all restaurants and shops and
Exactly.
things. But there is.
We're like,
Yeah.
there's an Ace. We go there all the time,
With
actually.
parking.
With
With
parking,
parking.
too. Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
we actually have a parking lot too.
Oh, that's nice.
So
is very key
we are
for
able to do
downtown.
stuff in
Yeah.
our parking lot like events, which is
Oh,
awesome.
fun.
And since we don't close off the street or anything, it doesn't really cause chaos to the rest of town.
Because
It's our
a
private parking lot.
Okay, so it's a
ours.
cottage right a little bit south of where Adam's place is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, come anytime.
And what do it's a shop? What are you
So
selling?
what we do there is every month we curate different types of pop-up brands all around the world that come in there to showcase at a certain amount of time, kind of like to test
So what
out
kind
the
of stuff?
Delray Beach Market, anywhere from fashion accessories.
Well, December it was cold, right? Or presumably. So we had a silk maker from Japan. No, and a cashmere maker from Germany.
Oh.
And they were there with sample pieces that they were launching at New York Fashion Week and taking custom orders. So a lot
Oh,
of our
wow.
shoppers now have started to receive them, and they're just fabulous, like cashmere coats that look like fur. Just such cool stuff. We've had shoemakers in there. We've had costume jewelry. We've had fine jewelry.
And then it's
So
not just
you don't have
fashion.
a regular store that merchandise all the time?
Well, they stay for a month,
Oh,
but
okay.
we usually pick a day to highlight one big blowout party. So when we do that, we lean on our friends or clients to come down to Florida and host the event to help bring more people in through the door.
And who are some of your clients?
We have tons of people that we work for, some that we don't mention because they're not in the press or the public
Right,
eye.
sure.
And then others whose events that we do that are in the public eye. So a lot of people like you do, we work with a lot of the housewives from Bravo TV. This next
I love the
weekend,
Housewives.
we're working with a lot of these people are our friends just by
Because you're in the Hamptons.
commingling and
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So one of our girlfriends, she's on a show called Summer House on Bravo TV, which comes on late night, like I think 10 o'clock or 11. It's pretty seedy.
It's 10
Oh, yeah? That sounds interesting.
It's like the real world in the
real world, but in
Hamptons.
the Hamptons.
Oh, I gotta watch that
it's
one.
the
It's called
same-
Summer House?
yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So she's flying down with two of her other girlfriends who were social media influencers, and they're kind of co-hosting the event, all three of them, and we're calling it the 50 Shades of Blogging. So it's an event with
Oh.
them three and 50 other bloggers that are kind of seeing all these
Interesting. They're coming to
new-
Delray?
Yes.
When is
So,
that?
Next
February
Saturday.
24th.
Oh, wow.
If you're here, you must come.
Yeah, it's from 11 to
I don't know if
4.
we'll be here or not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's going to be a really fun time. We're having like a brunch experience, interactive stuff, and we'll have
Beauty
pop-up shops,
activations, pop-up shops.
cryofacials,
Oh, wow.
tons of different things. So for us, we kind of put ourselves in the position now with this downtown location that we have to come up with events every single month.
Yeah.
Versus the flip side of our business for the
People are
past 6
hiring
years,
us to
people
do
are
it.
hiring
Right.
us.
Okay.
So it's been a whirlwind and really fun. And
It's
now
fun though because it keeps us on our toes and constantly
Sounds like
coming
fun.
up with
Yeah.
something new every single month. So I mean, it's
Wow.
a lot of fun, a lot of work, but I feel like
So
when you
the
love what
parties you do down here are all in this shop, correct? Or do you also?
well,
for
no,
the space, yes,
for
but-
the circle, yes, but otherwise, no. We do parties, we do bar mitzvahs or bat mitzvahs, weddings. If it's a party, we're doing it. We did a dinner for two.
I saw that on your social media.
That was a
You
10-course
made it like a
tasting menu.
snowy
She
So
said,
it was the
winter-
day
yeah.
before. It was Christmas Eve, so we made it like a winter wonderland.
And how did this happen? Was someone hired you?
a client of
Yeah, it's one
ours.
of our clients.
Yeah,
The woman or the man? Who came up with this?
The woman.
It was the
Okay.
woman for her husband.
For her
because
husband,
She
actually.
wanted to do something like different and not just get a gift. She wanted an experience.
Oh, yeah.
And so we came up with a 10-course wine tasting menu dinner.
Oh,
he's a
fun.
foodie,
And he's
so
a big foodie and a
Oh,
big
okay.
wino, so we
well,
were
she's
Love
like, "What do
that.
you get the man who can get everything for himself?"
Exactly. So sometimes it's nice.
We
to
said, "Let's
have
do an experience."
Right.
And of course, I first was like, "Go skydiving," you know. And she's like, "I don't think so."
No.
Brian's like, "Let's throw a special party," and I thought, "Oh, okay, let's work on this a
But
little
it was a
bit."
party for two.
Party for two
Exactly.
That's great.
with all the stemware and
Sometimes
the
I love that
flowers.
more.
I
and
saw that. Yeah.
it was very cool.
I saw that. That looked
and
like
we got
that looked
to
great.
all we had to do was take what her idea was, and since we've worked with her so many times in the past, she said, "Just take it." And
Trust you guys.
yes,
Exactly.
And that's
Wow.
what a lot of clients of ours do.
Yeah.
They expect a level of experience and luxury, so we provide that for them.
So there's a lot of details that have to go into parties. I know this myself because there have been times when I've had to run out myself and get bottled water
Exactly.
or towels for the bathroom or soap or something like that.
Right.
It's not easy.
It's not. I
It's
don't
a
think
big
people
checklist.
realize what goes on behind
no,
the
they
scenes.
don't. They just
think
walk
you just
in
show
and
up and it's
a
easy
party.
breezy
Easy.
when
No.
you could be handling 30 different crises going on and you're trying to put out the fires, but you do it
And then
professionally where
something
no one
doesn't
knows
work at the last
that it's
minute.
coming.
Lighting.
Oh, totally.
And
Exactly.
been there.
We find that a lot when we hire volunteers or interns, and we've had much success and we have had much unsuccess. So it's hit or miss when it comes to that.
Yeah.
But we find if we get with them 6 weeks before and start instilling training, then it works out. But if they just show up the day of, it's like catastrophe.
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
More work than it should be.
We wind up doing everything. Yeah.
Yeah, I do everything. So
Yeah.
I need to get a lesson from you guys.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me your favorite party that you've done. The best one, the one over the top, magnificent.
I think for me, wedding,
wedding?
somebody's wedding would
Yeah.
be my favorite. And it's great because in my mind, it's a repeat. You get to see that special moment of the bride and her eyes and her excitement and the time leading up to it. And then as soon as they...
And talk about pressure on you guys.
Well, that's a lot of pressure.
Bridezilla, yeah. I know. I'm not saying anything bad about women that are getting married, but this is the culmination of all of their dreams, and it all has to come together at that moment. And you guys got to
We
make
have
it
to
right.
do it, yeah.
Exactly. We're lucky
I was at a
that
great
we
wedding last
we
weekend
haven't worked
and
with
when they
any
come off well-
bridezillas.
Well,
Yeah,
when they get in that
No.
car at the end, I'm just like so happy.
Yeah, like, phew.
it's over. But then I'm sad because we just spent all this time with somebody.
Sometimes a whole
And then
year,
they're
every day.
gone.
Then they're gone.
Yeah.
But what's funny is our third business partner for the circle was one of our brides.
Oh, wow.
So we became so close, and she's also a fashion blogger, so it was just kind of like a perfect marriage at the end.
Huh.
And
Yeah.
so we usually stay friends and very close with like a lot of our clients.
She really...
Yeah, I would imagine you would.
She really proved to be such a great addition to what we're doing now with the circle. She has a fashion blog. It's at Lauren Leader House, and she's really killing the game. It was just something for her. She actually worked in the medical field.
So where does she blog?
She blogs online. So she
Okay.
has an Instagram and she has a website, I think, too. And it's
And
basically...
she was a model, and she still models.
Yeah, she used to
obviously,
model,
but-
and she was thrown in the medical field and killing it because she's a gorgeous girl and a really wonderful saleswoman, and wearing scrubs every day. And finally, I think she took to Instagram as an outlet, and then that just blew up and exploded. We said, we need a female to join forces with.
Yeah.
So, collectively came up with this idea of the circle, and now here we are. It's great.
Oh, that's amazing. So,
But back to, favorite parties. I'm
Yeah.
sure you have a favorite party, right?
Yeah, I mean, other than
Or
a
least
wedding,
favorite?
or I like when we work in Montauk. There's this place where we do which is kind of ties to the circle when we do pop-ups. So I love incorporating, fashion or health or wellness or beauty or fitness kind of programming into an event, and like either launching their brand during an event or highlighting their brand and tying it with like-minded people. So
Okay.
when we work at this place in Montauk that's called the Surf Lodge, which is like a pretty cool and fun and hip place.
sounds
that
fun. What is
everybody
I think
goes
I saw
to.
that place when I was up there a few years ago.
If
The
you
best
can
way to
get
come
in
Is it a
there-
hotel?
It's a
It's
hotel.
Yeah, it's right in the water.
But like the coolest people go. Like Leonardo DiCaprio goes there to like hang out.
and it's
Oh,
a
wow.
place
Yeah.
where like these types of A-list celebrities will like hang out there, and it's not like
Not pretentious
it's
or
not
anything.
pretentious. They're just like in the mix, and like they'll buy you a shot and think like nothing's of it. It's not very like there's no paparazzi, there's no photographing of people, so it's kind of relaxed in that feel. It's kind of like the Sandbar, but on steroids,
And
so to speak. Like
classy.
that vibe where it's
The
like
Sandbar
on
in
the
Delray?
beach. Yeah, like it's on the beach. It's
that
tiki hutty
sense,
kind
like
of.
tiki hut kind of
Yeah.
vibe, but that's
A lot
not
more
a
exclusive.
good comparison.
Yeah.
It's
I'm just
like
saying,
Nikki
the
Beach
look-wise.
in Saint Tropez.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, well, whatever. We have very different mindsets.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think that's one of my favorite events that we do. Other than obviously working with.
So what do you have planned for this summer in the Hamptons?
So every year we work with Jill Zarin from Housewives of New York, and we throw her benefit, Jill Zarin's Luxury Luncheon, and it typically benefits ITOG, which is International Thyroid Oncology Group, and that's something that's always on our pipeline. So we work planning that event starting as early as January, and it comes, I guess, annually. So that's something on our pipeline.
This will be our sixth annual.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Our 6th annual. It's just grown so much.
Yeah. So that's where we incorporate over 200 brands that kind of go there to showcase and sell and be in front of, Jill's kind of her friends.
Oh, okay. So I see what you're doing. You have
stuff
vendors
like that.
there, or are they just
vendors, pop-up
publicizing-
shops, beauty activations.
Had a couple brands even launch their brand there. It's any type of category from like
It's a platform.
food,
There's so much press,
wine.
media, and influencers there that can help you propel your brand.
Yeah.
Sure.
That this is like a room that you cannot be in because it's a private event. So being in front of all of these people, I'm sure you've been to fancy parties where the barrier's down. It's really a good one-on-one experience for everybody. And then overall for the attendees, it's a luxury luncheon in a 6,000 square foot tent in a backyard in the Hamptons. I mean, what else would you want to do on that day?
Yeah.
But in April, we have a workout event that we're curating. It's almost finished. We're going to have a celebrity trainer fly in to Delray and do a meet and greet, and then also a 1 hour
fitness
workout class.
Yeah.
We'll also then have other people too coming in, like other influencers doing maybe a yoga class. Then I know that Solid Core Boca just opened. So maybe have
that's
them
over near the
come
mall, right?
Yeah.
Near the mall. I got to go to a preview class, and that was awesome.
Yeah, people
So-
told me to try it. Did you like it?
Yes, you
It
have
looks
to
really
try it.
cool.
Try that.
I would recommend. Yeah, I recommend going.
Give that a try.
But we always like to, when we're here at least, always incorporate like the local community too and the local businesses and kind of highlight them as well. And
Sure.
Make sure they're incorporated into our events.
Lots of new businesses around here.
Exactly.
So many.
Yeah.
Florida's the best.
Yeah, that's going on.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you guys. You want to give your information again if someone wants to get a hold of you to plan a party? Or
Yeah, definitely. For party planning, they could visit ticket2events.com or they could
Follow us on social
Follow us
media
on-
at
yeah.
ticket2events.com. And then if you want to visit the Circle and come to any of our events that we're throwing there or shop our latest pop-ups, it's findthecircle.com. And on Instagram, it's at the Circle Social.
Okay, so people can go there and find out what your next event is.
Yeah.
And
for
they can
for
attend.
at the Circle, correct? So
Okay.
if they want to learn about that April pop-up workout class, that's on Find the Circle.
Okay. Thanks, Sean and Brian. I really
Thank you.
enjoyed this.
Yeah,
and
thanks for having us.
party in the Hamptons.
Yes,
You got
for
my
sure.
number.
Yeah, we know how to reach you.
I can fly up there.
Yeah.
I'll bring a some film crew, and we'll cover
that'd
you.
be great.
Yeah, you won't be the only film crew. It gets crazy there.
Cool.
There's so much media.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, we'll add you to the list.
Yeah, put me on.
So
Give me
good.
a press pass.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks so much.
Thanks for coming in. You have been watching and listening to The Becky and Boca Show. Tune in every Thursday night at 6 p.m. to discover all the ways to spoil yourself and have a good time in beautiful Boca Raton. See you next week.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its hosts, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of the